look into my eyes. It's time for another devlog video. This is my indie restaurant management game where you get to cook food for your customers and manage your cafe. And today I'm going to be changing the perspective from this top level view you see here to a first person perspective. This is a pretty crazy change since from the beginning of this game's development it's always been this bird's eye view. But the reason it was that way is because I didn't really think that through. At least it's not as much as I should have. But now that the game's more developed, I really want to make it a first person game. It has so many advantages. One of the biggest is that the controls are so much easier. For example, if you want to try to pick something out of a burger that you accidentally placed down, well, it's kind of hard to select from this top-down view. But in a first-person view, it's really easy to just select the item you want and pull it right out. Other than that, it'll also just be a lot easier to add really cool interactions with both the food and the customers in your cafe. Also, who just doesn't want to walk around their cafe and interact with customers from this view? So after thinking it through some more, I decided we're going to change the perspective. And this really is the best time for it since the project is stable right now, and the earlier the better. So let's get right into it. And for that, we need to go back to an old project of mine. Welcome to Donut Hockey. You can tell how I completed the first donut blender tutorial and was like, yes, this needs to be in Unity now. Anyways, you can pick them up, throw them, and most importantly, walk around this field. And so I'm just gonna pick this first-person controller that allows me to move around this field and drop it into my new project, and just hope it works. I feel like I don't need to say that that didn't work, and it broke pretty badly. Turns out a lot of things change when Unity upgrades, and some of the things that Unity changed just completely broke this first-person controller, which caused me to somehow get stuck inside this counter. It was a nice view, I guess. Many of the issues I faced just stemmed from the physics system not liking the player controller anymore for some reason. It's kind of incredible how a newer version of Unity broke this so badly. Anyways, I did get it working, at least basically moving around the map. So now we can finally experience the cafe from the manager's point of view. And we can do things like this. Yeah! How dare you come into my cafe and expect to be served food? I like how they just get up and try to order food too. Like, they don't even try to leave. Imagine if this happened to you. You go into a restaurant and the manager just comes over to you personally to knock you down. I mean, isn't that every experience with restaurants ever? Like, how dare you try to order food? Oh, whoa. That guy kind of flew a bit more than I expected. Anyways, I'm already liking this system because we can do silly stuff like that. After that, I had to fix a weird bug where if you press Control or Shift a bunch of times to sprint, you wouldn't go back to your normal walking speed, but instead go really, really fast, which was kind of fun to play around with for a little bit. Poor customer never had a chance. Impressive backflip though. Good form. After fixing that, it's about time we start to integrate this first-person controller. For one, it was a bit too high, so I adjusted the height, and that's when I started to realize that the manager was extremely tall, and so were the counters. In fact, almost everything in this cafe was ill-proportioned. The walls were too short, the counters were too tall, the items were massive. The customers used to be as tall as the manager, but I made them a little more realistic by assigning them random heights based on normal distribution based on real life. That was a bit of a mouthful, but what I did was looked at some statistics for average human height, and just made each customer spawn, pulling a random number from that distribution. I could go on and on about how much I love the normal distribution, but basically that should result in some normal looking heights. I've generated a few customers and put them against a wall so you can see their heights here. Hopefully pretty realistic. After that, I turned my attention to the kitchen counters. They looked a little too tall, so I checked the standard for kitchen counters, and it's actually 36 inches. But strangely, the counters in my game were already shorter than that, and that's when I had the random idea to check the height. And yeah, it was unnaturally too low, so after moving it up to a more natural height, and sure enough, they look a lot more normal. At the same time, I also got picking up and placing items working, so now we can finally move things around the cafe again. Well, kinda, it looks a little weird, and I'll fix that soon. This whole time though, the physics never stopped haunting me. If I stand between these two buckets and press crouch and then just release, I just spring into the air. I have no idea how. I'm not pressing space. I don't know. It is the strangest thing because if I go onto the ground like normal and crouch, it just works normally. You can just crouch down and get back up. So yeah, I have no clue. That's not all though, because I also discovered that in certain cases you can somehow just climb walls. It's really weird and it's kind of hard to pull off, but if you do it just right, you can kind of just scale a wall and just fly way too high into the air. What is even going on? I'm still so surprised that the physics is so broken when it used to work in an older Unity version. Like, it's baffling. And things get even more fun because there's another bug where if you hold an item and look down, you just start moving. Like, I'm not even pressing any keys, I'm just moving. This is pretty simple. It's just the item is colliding with the player, and so it's giving me a bunch of velocity, but then the item can't move, so it's just continually colliding with me. It is a common thing in video games, and it's actually really easy to fix. It's just disabling the collision specifically between the item and the player. If you thought we were done with physics bugs, I actually have one more. This one showed up an episode or two ago, in a different form this time. The baskets can fly. Again. Who would have thought? They're just so magical when they're put together. This time though, they can actually just clip through the ground, and they just don't care apparently. They can also kind of slide and just rotate and kind of do whatever they want. It's very strange. It kind of amazes me because that means somehow the physics system finds just enough upwards force as it does downward force in these baskets, which is really weird to me because like there's not much going on. They're just attached to each other. Okay, it does look like I can fly though if I get on this thing. Maybe if I jump really high. And land. This is really slippery actually, but I think we can make it work. Okay, it's flying a bit too high now. I think we're gonna have to reset it. Alright, let's give this one more go. Yeah, we're flying now. Our own personal jetpack that we can't control, sadly. Or no, I think it's rotating. No, I love the carnage that these boxes are causing to the customers, who again are just trying to order their food, but the universe will not let them. Anyways, I do have a bunch of bugs to fix, so I'm about to go work on those now. Okay, but did you see that customer clip through all those boxes? Like, that poor customer. Okay, I'm gonna go work on those bugs now. So, it's a little while later now, and I've just been working on the same features and fixing a bunch of bugs. For one, holding items is a lot more natural. There's also some weird things I encountered too, like you could pick up and put down items from any distance away. That was a bit silly, but just kind of left over from when the camera was in the sky and you could target anything from any distance. But I also got that fixed, so now it only shows a tooltip when you're close enough to actually pick things up. The arm distance is actually way longer than it is in real life, like this is 2.5 meters, but at this distance it actually feels natural. In fact, as I was working on this, I realized that all the items are like way oversized. These plates are huge, and I think it's good to have some exaggeration so it's fun to see what you're making, but at the same time, maybe this is a little over the top, so I made them a bit smaller. They're still really large compared to real life, but they fit the size of the other ingredients well. I also made these boxes a bit shorter, so you can see what's inside them easier. It is really funny though how far these top ones stick out now. Like they're just perfectly balanced, that's why they're not falling over. I don't know. For now though, I think it's time to talk about one of the remaining issues with this first-person controller. And that is the take order icon above the customer. This icon was made to look at that top camera and just kind of hover as if it was a UI element, and now it just kind of freaks out because it doesn't expect the camera to be this low. It's also just at a really awkward place, like it's right above the customer's heads, and you almost have to like jump to even click on it because of the reduced range we have now. It really just doesn't work anymore, but all I think it needs is a few changes for it to fit in. After all, most of the game is being reused from this view change. Like everything I had implemented before is still used in the build scene because that's still from a top level view. So not just scrapping a bunch of content always feels good. So to start reusing it, I just started to move it over the order counter and try to make it rotate, but instead it kind of wiggled at first. But once I got it fixed, it started to look like this, where it actually rotates and invites you to click on it, or something like that, I don't know. It's still kind of funny though, because the old manager comes over to take the order instead of you right there. So it's finally time to get rid of the old manager once and for all, and make the player themselves take the order. And just like that, she's fired, or gone. And now we can take the orders ourselves. And I believe that's it. We now are in control of the cafe. We are the manager. The perspective change is complete. We've got a player controller that can sneak around, run, make entire orders for the customer. We can also sneak through the door, which we can't open, so we're just stuck on the outside. But honestly, I have plans for the door, so we'll just leave that till another day. And that's where the video should have ended. But I actually discovered a few rabbit holes in this game that I had to go explore. Like for one, the 3D models on almost all the items were way too low. And for some reason in the game to fix this, offset the entire item instead of the 3D model itself. So I had to go fix all that, and once I did, suddenly stacking works better now. Like these boxes actually now stack correctly, but still in a hilarious way. Also, I find it comical that that box just flew away in this clip. Like let's rewind that for a sec. Yeah, it just flew away. That's not all though. The way that I keep items in place when they're stacked on top of one another is very manual. Like I set the position of that object each frame to where it should be. But it turns out Unity supports this natively in a way that works with this physics system. That should mean that no longer when plates tip over do the items just clip through the floor. But the first attempt at doing this went really badly. Like, these items were flying around looking like bugs. Like, I don't even know how this happened. Just when you thought the physics system couldn't get any crazier. And like, this got really bad. Like, it actually just froze Unity. I don't even know. I don't know. Things got better, but it was still insane the amount of things that happened. Like the one time I tried to play it, and if you let go of a full basket, the manager just slams it into the ground. Just so overly dramatic. Or the time I played it and the top buns were doing a very strange dance. Or that one time I played it and all the baskets just kind of exploded and items flew everywhere. So many play tests just ended like this, where items were strewn everywhere. It was honestly so funny, and I feel like this should be like a challenge mode, where items are just everywhere and you need to fish out what you want. I think I could see that being really fun. Anyways, the point is, I actually didn't get this working, and things kept jittering, and I just didn't like how it was playing out, so I decided to stash it for now, and maybe I'll come back to it later. But for now, I like it how it is, when the physics system isn't bothering any of the items sitting inside baskets. One last little feature I wanted to add to the character controller is throwing items. There's nothing really too special here, but I just thought I felt incomplete without it. As far as the perspective though, I think we're done changing it. This has probably been one of the biggest changes I've made ever since I started this game, so thank you all for taking your time and joining me on this crazy adventure. What's next for the game is probably adding more features. Well, of course, but it's not what I meant. What I mean is, now that we have a cafe where you can make food for your customers, you have a build mode where you can change it and edit it to your heart's content, and we have basically the full game loop here. We can start adding cool new features like new foods to make, new items to use, more customer interactions, smarter customers, and more actions that they can take. And yeah, eventually we'll put a roof over this place. And that's kind of an exciting change, because we get to move from core features to the stuff that actually makes it fun. And so I'm really excited for this, and I hope you are all too. If you want to see more, go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back with more exciting things, hopefully sooner than later, but we'll see where things go. Goodbye.